So it's a big welcome back to Britain for the Monkees. Here they are.
Here we go.
I've got to tell you, lads, that you're looking so good and wonderful this morning, you don't need those name tags we've given you.
Okay.
I recognise you all immediately.
Okay.
He's lying, folks. He's lying. We don't have name tags on. We don't need them.
Walking down the street, we get the funniest looks from everyone we meet.
Hey!
What's up? Oh, God.
Wow, well, thanks for doing that. We just made $400.
You did?
Yeah, sure.
All out of
Isn't
my-
that about it?
All out of my pocket, I might add,
Absolutely.
since we
Where's my money?
Well,
I don't talk until I get my money.
the check's in the post. Guys, you look terrific this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If you can see
Thank
the sincerity on my face as I said that.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
We feel pretty good.
Well, it's great to have you back in this country. I mean,
No,
you're
but seriously,
touring.
folks, it's great to have you back in this country.
No, it really is because everybody can see how great you're looking, and also to hear these great songs again.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Where are you going, Davey? Tell us
am
where
I
the
going?
tour is.
I'm
Where
not
the
going
tour
anywhere.
is.
I'm this tall when I'm sitting down. That's the only thing.
You sound like you did on the beginning of that record just now.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm only-
7A?
Yeah.
What number is this? I still do sound. My voice is still that high. Well,
Well, wait a minute. Peter was
not-
saying it didn't happen that way.
Right, no, it didn't happen that way. Originally, it was I who wasn't paying attention. They said 7A, and I'm going, what take is this? And Lester Sill and Chip Douglas go, 7A, you fool! And then they substituted Davey's voice because he was singing lead on the song.
just a little thing.
Just little thing. Well, all these little paraphernalias and all these.
But it
bits
is
and
good to hear them again, and we're going to be singing them all again when we come back in March and we do our tour.
pieces. Mickey, can you tell us where you're going? Do you know yet? Can you remember at this early hour of the morning?
We start out in Glasgow.
Start
my favorite
let's go
places.
And then go.
I'm not kidding. I love Scotland. And then we go to, I don't know the order, but it's Sheffield and Birmingham at the NEC and Wembley and Bournemouth and
Belfast.
and
Dublin.
and Dublin and
London.
Wembley.
I said Wembley. Yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember all the order and the names, but
Well,
all,
it's
all the big.
great.
This is the big time, folks. It's all the big ones.
But who would have thought that 30 years ago, when you answered that advert in the Variety, wasn't it? What was the
Yeah.
paper?
Wanted 4-inch Sen boys to take part in a TV show. And
No, we booked the dates 30 years ago.
You booked that. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
knew you were coming
this
back.
is all part of our 50-year plan.
But all sorts of other people auditioned and didn't get to become a monkey. Like
That's right.
Stephen
Not in,
Stills,
yes, but
wasn't
not
it?
including Charles Manson. Thank you very much. All right.
Well, I wasn't going to mention the Charles Manson bit because he
Not
was still
true.
serving time, wasn't he?
well, they asked Stephen Stills, and Stephen didn't think it was his kind of thing, so he and Peter were
poor
friends, and
Stephen.
he sent Peter along.
Yep.
Yeah,
Poor Stephen had.
boy.
Yeah, he had to console himself with Crosby.
So had you guys met each other before?
Oh, no, of course not.
Yes,
Never.
of course we had.
No, but
No, we
seriously,
hadn't.
We
before
hadn't
the
been on
audition,
our-
had you met?
No.
Yes. Michael and I had met. Michael was running the Hoots at the.
Oh, I'm
Troubadour.
sorry. You mean like met and just bumped into each other?
Yeah, but we weren't a group.
we hadn't formed a group or nothing. No.
Nor would we have.
You don't know the history of this?
Oh, sure, I know the history.
you do?
But I'm getting to
Letting all
just.
the people know out there.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
He's
Well,
coaxing
a
us into
nutshell,
educating.
little précis, is that the Monkees was originally constructed as a television show about a group, and it was cast as such. It went on to become very, very different and grander things, of course. But but we all went to an interview in an office building in Hollywood, and they were casting. I'd love to remember the name of the show before they called it.
It was NBC TV.
No, the name of the show was not the Monkees originally. It was
No, it was-
something else called Changes, or it was called. God, I wish I could remember because I remember the pilot script, and the names were Biff, BJ, Joe, and
Right.
Dingo or something, squiggly.
That was Dingo.
And we were cast to play the parts of these characters, and then at some point they decided to use our real names, and we became the people, and we became the group, and now we.
Actually, it must be said that the producers had Geppetto complexes. They wanted their puppets to be real-life boys, and we had Pinocchio complexes.
And we
And it
did.
worked out that
Pinocchio
way.
came alive.
But is
Snipped
it
our
true to say?
strings.
Let's hear from Mike Nesmith because he has not said a word yet. Good morning, Mike.
Hi.
Hey, is that all we're going to get from you this morning?
No.
But is it true that NBC TV really created the Monkees as an answer to Britain's Beatles? with the one-letter spelling mistake in that as well?
No, that was not. It was the Beatles were around, and so were a lot of other rock and roll acts. But this was created for a television setup. The phonograph aspect of it was a subcase, a subtext way down the line. Everybody knew it would happen, but nobody had any idea it would happen as big as it did. And when I first got in there, they started playing the songs that were going to play on the show, and I said, "This is some of the worst material I've ever heard in my life. You cannot possibly put this on the air." And so we sort of started arm wrestling for the songs and arm wrestling for the material on the show and so forth. And I think the producers, who were also pretty hip themselves, made everything kind of ramp up, and then the phonograph records came to life. But the Beatles were just we were coming from a television tradition, not phonograph.
Yeah, I mean, quite simply, the Monkees was about a group, a fictitious group that did not exist. And in some ways still doesn't. It's more like the cast of a show. But we go out and play. When we come out on the stage at Wembley, it's just the four of us playing every single note.
Yes, but when the Monkees were created, you didn't play on your records, did you?
No, because we weren't asked
They
to
wouldn't
play
let
on the
us.
records. We
They
were
wouldn't let
hired as actors playing the parts of rock and roll singers and musicians. And it wasn't until about the third album that we decided that we would like to get involved in that area of the production.
Well, Peter, was
Which
that
we
your
did.
decision as a group, or was it theirs? Or did you insist that eventually you wanted to play?
I think my personal take on it is that our producer Bert Schneider was sort of predisposed to our doing that, but needed us to take the initiative, and we did. We walked into his office and said, "This is how we were good and angry because we'd been on the tour, on the playing just the four of us, playing on the road for a year when our second album came out without our ever having heard it." And
With Jimi Hendrix as our opening act.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix was our opening act.
really?
Yes, and so we like to think of ourselves as having some credentials, and at least I had credence, and so we.
I had Clearwater.
Oh, very good. Who is the revival? Oh, thank you, Mike. Hey, of all the tracks which you had originally, because we're going to play something from your new CD in a moment. What is there a group favourite of all the big hits you had in the late 60s
I think we
and
all
70s?
have a favourite. Peter and Mickey
favourite,
like
yeah.
Pleasant Valley Sunday. I like Daydream Believer, and Mike likes every single one of the records we ever made.
Fantastic. Whoa. And you're still living off the royalties?
Oh no!
No?
Oh no!
No, we're working on fresh money now.
Yeah, the royalties of the records would not keep my son in gasoline.
Really? And has it all gone to the writers and publishers?
It usually does. And back then, the deal...
Yeah, but performers.
pretty bad.
No, back then the deal was 5% of 90% of the gross, and so, it's like 1.25% of the retail price each, and those, and you have to pay half that when they start to going into compilations.
So 1997 is a new year when all the Monkees this time are going to make real money.
God willing,
Yeah,
from
I
your
hope
mouth
so.
to God's ears.
With you on BBC Radio 2, I have with me the Monkees. Good morning once again.
Here we come again.
Yeah, but we're not playing that. We've just played a track from your new CD, haven't we, Davey?
Yeah, we played Never Enough, which is a song written by Mickey. 12 new tunes on this album called Just Us, Justice, Justus. We wrote them all between us, we played them all, and we produced them all.
Have you published them all?
We published them, yeah.
And we did the windows.
And you did them. Fantastic. So this time you are going to end up with a bit of cash.
Yeah, but
We
you
hope
know,
so.
If the damn
that's the
record
second
sells.
time you've said that about this money. At the end of the day, it doesn't really have to be dollars and cents, It's
It
just
could be pounds and pence.
Money follows art. Art does not follow money.
And that is said
Actually-
sincerely. That is
actually, I
said
must
sincerely,
say-
is it, Mickey?
My
Is
friend
what?
Art.
That is said sincerely, is it?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
My friend Art.
absolutely, I believe that.
So you don't have
Money
any
follows the
regrets?
art.
You don't have any regrets about the first stage of the Monkees? Now you're
I
into a
don't.
second stage.
I have no regrets about it. I did very well, and it has made my life I have wonderful experiences. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that, and I wouldn't have done a lot of things in my life if it hadn't been for that. So I have very, very few regrets. About. I would have done a couple of things differently. I might not have used my real name. I might have used a character name, like
Shirley.
Shirley.
Shirley Dolan, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, that would have been good. I might have, that might have been. That's not a regret. I just thinking back, it might have made it easier after the Monkees to go on and continue as an actor, because I used to go to interviews after the Monkees and they'd say, "What are you doing here? We don't need a drummer. We need an actor," which was a little ludicrous, but nevertheless. So I have no regrets about
Good.
it.
Now, Mike Nesmith, it's great that you've rejoined the Monkees, because for many years you wouldn't do it. Why was that, and why have you rejoined this time?
Well, it was not wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Scheduling. I was usually when the guys would call and say, "We're going to go out. You want to go with us?" It would be I would be making a movie or something. And I think the '86 tour I was making Repo Man. Square Dance.
Square Dance.
Making Square Dance, and then so it was just scheduling. And now I'm doing it because I want to.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
and I don't- I'm
and you're
not-
all glad to have him back, obviously. Because
Yeah.
And I've decided to. I thought. I think one of the things that'd be fun to do is a movie. So I'm kind of throwing my weight behind that, and a television special.
We do have a television special in February with ABC in America. Hopefully it'll be shown here. And January 22nd, we have a Disney documentary in the States. And then we have the tour, which starts, I think, in Glasgow.
Then a theme park.
And then a theme park.
And then founding a new nation.
Including an Air Force.
You're really back with a vengeance then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, space
And a
program.
Mars flyby.
Mars
I've
flyby.
noticed talking to you and watching you during this
Colonizing
interview,
Venus.
Peter, that you seem to be the technical whiz kid. Because when you walked into the studio just now, you looked at the setting on the microphones and you were dead on, weren't you? And poor old Fred, the other side of the glass, was getting quite upset because you were telling her exactly what the setting on the microphone was going to be. Have you always been that sort of... Have
No,
you produced...
Obnoxious? Yes.
Yes, I'm not.
Obnoxious. Technically obnoxious.
No, as a matter of fact, to me, one of the great things about being in the Monkees and the whole thing about being in the industry is that I was a backstage freak. I just adored, looking at the empty sets and the cardboard fronts and so learning this stuff about technical is one of the great gifts of.
Where's
of
Peter? Oh, he's looking through the camera lens.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
there
right.
he is.
Yeah.
The
that's
wrong
right.
way, but...
Yeah, right. Right. I was looking into the lens, trying to look out the
I was
viewfinder.
looking into the
Everybody's so
lens, hiding my
tiny. Look
hair.
how tiny everybody is. There are little bitty people out there.
And I notice he's the only one wearing glasses.
Yes, that's right, because I'm the only one who cares to see.
That's marvelous. Well, look, it's been terrific to meet you all once again, because I
Thank
know
you.
that I met a couple of you back in the 30 years ago when we were all starting out.
That was
And-
my father.
No, it was not. Nobody can look that good.
Oh, why?
Yeah? No, I mean, we haven't aged much, have we?
Not us.
Age only matters if you're cheese.
It's not about age, it's about life.
Oh, Davey, you say
And a rolling chicken crossing the stone is a bird in your bush.
That's
Just
Or
a
fantastic.
minute.
something like that. I don't know. Something.
That's
It's a
not
bat,
really
it's a
about
bat
that
in
one.
your belfry.
Yes, there's a,
And vice
It is.
versa.
It's great to see you again, Ed.
Good. Well,
thank
look, a message from each of you. Just go down around the table.
yeah,
a
you want
message for your
something-
adoring British public.
Something inspirational?
Something inspirational,
Okay, I got
please.
something inspirational.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, my inspirational thing is don't quit before the miracle. Okay, that's my inspiration.
Davey?
My little inspirational treat is come see us in March when we perform around this wonderful country.
Mickey?
You're stealing Mike's lines.
Sorry. I don't do inspirational well on demand.
That was very inspiring. Well, I just want to leave England with this one piece of business. The fish are eating my furniture.
That is truly memorable, sir. Thank you very much. Mike Nesmith, Mickey Dolenz, Davy Jones, and Peter Tork, the Monkees.
Boom.
Here we go.
Going down the street. It's funny.
And I hope they're more inspired than that when they begin their British tour on... when you start the tour?
When do we
I
start
think
the
it's
tour?
about March the 8th. They're more inspired than that when they start their tour.
Yeah, God willing.
All right, get
Yeah.
a leg.
Makeup?
Somebody
Thank
get
you.
it
Talent implants.
around the neck.